Film is concerned with a series of events, let us say a story. Now, Western music doesn't tell a story, but the question of pace and rhythm and all these are very closely related because both music and films exist in time. These are the two art forms that exist in time. You have to view a film for an hour and a half, 100 minutes. You have to listen to a music for maybe half an hour or so. And then the form emerges and the structure emerges and you get the full flavor of the thing.
The warmth of surrealism that shaped the palette of Bengali narrative, the revolutionary arc of emotional metaphors that persisted through the visual frames. The world of cinema was mesmerized, covered by the artistic magic of legendary Indian filmmaker Satyajit Ray. The inspiration of Ray's classical creativity and celluloid storytelling shaped the minds of millions of filmmakers all around the world. Satyajit Ray has inspired many legendary filmmakers, illuminating their creative path, inspiring them to think and rethink.
I was a kid. I was living in the Lower East Side, and the first film that I really saw about India was Pate Panchali by Satyajit Ray. And I realized it was a film that was made by Indians, for the world, not through other cultures. And it brought me to learn about the rest of the world.
Martin Scorsese, defined as one of the pioneers of modern Hollywood cinema, expresses, "I am also a big fan of Satyajit Ray's body of work. The few interactions I had with Ray are memories I treasure." Akira Kurosawa, the legendary Japanese filmmaker, had a brief interaction with the conscious shades of Satyajit Ray's creations. As Kurosawa penned in his own words, "The quiet but deep observation, understanding, and love of the human race, which are characteristic of all his films, have impressed me greatly." Not to have seen the cinema of Ray means existing in the world without seeing the sun or the moon. Elia Kazan, one of the pioneers of Broadway cinema history, had a short interaction with the Bengali filmmaker that shaped his conscience. In Ray, I have noticed a complete filmmaker. He has mastered the art of script writing, direction, editing, and scoring music, which very few in the world can equal. If he were in Hollywood, he would have proved a tough challenge for all of us. The simplicity of Pather Panchali, the poignancy of Devi, and the aesthetics of Charulata haunt me, as well as many other filmmakers of the West. Godfather famed Francis Ford Coppola spoke his heart out. Someone speaks from Kolkata. I remember Satyajit Ray's call, praising me for Godfather 1. According to him, Marlon Brando was untouchable in Godfather. We know of Indian cinema through Ray's works, and to me, his best is Devi, a cinematic milestone. Alexander Payne, the coming-of-age American filmmaker known for The Descendants, had his fair share of Ray too. I recently saw The Music Room by Indian director Satyajit Ray. There are so many great old ones to see that I can't be bothered with new ones. Unless a number of people say, "This is really good," You should see it. The sought-after Hollywood contemporary filmmaker Christopher Nolan was deeply inspired too. I had the pleasure of watching Mr. Ray's Pather Panchali recently, which I hadn't seen before. It is an extraordinary piece of work. India's very own celebrated sensitive filmmaker Shyam Benegal said Ray was everywhere in Indian cinematic history. He said Satyajit Ray was of course the most important Indian filmmaker. I don't think there has been another of that quality since. Ray occupies historically a very interesting position in Indian cinema because when you talk about Indian films, you always say, this is something before Ray and this is something after Ray. As we celebrate the Ray centenary, we deeply salute Satyajit Ray's signature style that had defined Indian cinema and made it visible internationally. His subtle rhythm of social realism will never fade away, as he will always be remembered in the hearts of millions. Shaping the conscience and creative character of filmmakers all across the globe, Ray's work will stand as pride and expression of celebration of a master who was in full command of his art. Satyajit Ray continues to inspire us with his own characteristic Ray magic.